The contradiction is now the entire story. On one hand, a man in a London courtroom, appealing to the highest authorities of the state for protection, arguing his birthright and inherent danger demanded. On the other, that same man, through best-selling memoirs and global media deals, systematically dismantles the reputation of the very institution that forms the bedrock of that state security apparatus. The public is no longer just watching a legal battle. They are witnessing a paradox play out in real time, and their patience has snapped. This is Royal Report 24/7, and we are breaking down the explosive collision now defining Prince Harry's relationship with Britain. The clash between plea and principle is reaching its deafening peak. To understand the impossible position he has created, you need this analysis. Subscribe and hit the bell. This legal and public relations war is entering a new, more volatile phase. The headline from the High Court is dry, legal, judicial review granted. But the headline from the Court of Public Opinion, blared across front pages and talk shows, is visceral. He wants their protection, but he won't stop attacking them. This is the core of the fury that commentators like Nana Acua have given a furious voice to, and it's a sentiment reverberating from pub conversations to the corridors of power. Let's dissect the two sides of this coin, as insiders and legal experts are now doing. Side A, the plaintiff's case. Prince Harry's legal team argues, with chilling simplicity, that the threat is separate from the criticism. The risk to his life and the lives of his wife and children, they contend, is an objective, measurable fact. It is rooted in his status as the son of the late Princess Diana, his years of military service which placed him on terrorist watch lists, the specific, vile racism directed at his wife, and the relentless, often threatening, media intrusion that has followed him since birth. This threat, they assert, does not vanish or even diminish because he has chosen to speak his truth about his family dynamics. Security, in this view, is not a reward for good behavior or silent loyalty. It is a necessity dictated by threat assessment, pure and simple. To deny it, his team suggests, is a politically motivated punishment, a way for the institution to make his life outside it as difficult and dangerous as possible. Side B, the public outrage. This is where the legal argument smashes into the brick wall of perceived hypocrisy. The British public, through the lens of commentators and a palpable national mood, sees a different equation. They see a man who voluntarily stepped back as a working royal, relinquishing the duties that traditionally justify state-funded, round-the-clock security. They see a man who has monetized his insider grievances, earning millions to detail private family conflicts in a best-selling book and a global Netflix series. The question being shouted from the headlines is this: how can you financially and reputationally profit from dismantling the system, then turn around and demand that system's most expensive and exclusive benefit? It's seen as wanting the ultimate privilege of royalty, a government-funded security detail, without accepting any of its core responsibilities or showing its required deference. It feels, to many, like having your cake and eating it too on the taxpayer's dime. The phrase, "he should pay," isn't just about cost, it's about accountability. It's the principle that if you declare the institution corrupt, suffocating, and worthy of public criticism, you cannot simultaneously declare its protective arm essential for your survival. Now, step inside the Home Office and the King's private secretariat. The mood, according to insiders, is one of cold, pragmatic fury. Their argument is operational, not personal. The committee that stripped his automatic security, RAVEC, operates on criteria of public duty and current role. Harry, in their view, meets neither. Granting him a review isn't an admission he's right. It's a procedural step. But the fear is the precedent. If a wealthy individual can litigate their way back into state security based on a perceived historic threat, it opens a floodgate. It turns national security into a negotiable commodity, subject to the whims of wealthy litigants and their media strategies. The historical ghost haunting this is, of course, his mother. But the parallel is fracturing. Diana was seen as a victim of the system, pursued to her death by its parasitic elements. Harry's narrative is more complex. He is seen by a growing segment as a participant who profited from the system, then a critic who exposed it, and now a claimant demanding its protection. It's a triple role that many are struggling to reconcile. For King Charles and Prince William, this is a strategic nightmare. Every day this case continues. It does three corrosive things. It drains public goodwill, it ties up government resources in a bitter family feud, and it makes the monarchy look like an institution at war with itself, unable to control its own story or its own members. William, in particular, is said to view this not as a security issue, but as a profound breach of an unwritten code. That you do not savagely critique the family business and then send it the bill for your safety.so. What is the end game? The judicial review will plod on a slow, expensive legal grind. But the real battle is already lost in the arena that matters most to Harry's long-term standing in the UK, public perception. He may win in court and secure a government-funded security detail on future visits. But the cost will be a permanent alienation, a final, formal branding as the prince who sued his grandmother's country for protection while cashing the checks from trashing its most famous family. He is fighting for a security detail. But in the process, he may have sacrificed something far more fragile and far harder to win back. His claim on the public's sympathy. The gavel will fall in the courts, but the verdict in the hearts of the nation is becoming devastatingly clear. This is the defining paradox of the Sussex era. And at Royal Report 24/7, we will track every legal twist and every shift in public sentiment. This story is about more than security. It's about the very soul of a modern royal's identity. To follow this historic rupture to its conclusion, stay with us. Subscribe, make your view known with a like, share this critical analysis, and ring that bell. The case continues, but the judgment has already begun. This is Royal Report 24/7.